President Trump is reportedly pushing for tougher terms on the proposed Iran deal before signing off. The deal would keep pressure on Iran's nuclear program while also addressing shipping through the Strait of Hormuz and possible sanctions for relief. But major disagreements remain, including what happens to Iran's enriched uranium and how any enforcement would, or agreement rather, would actually be enforced. All right, let's go out to NewsNation's Robert Sherman, who is in Doha, Qatar. Thank you so much for being with us, and good evening to you. So what's the very latest here regarding possible agreement between the two nations?
Yeah, hey there, Jessica. Well, coming off of that certainly eyebrow-raising national security meeting that took place in the Situation Room on Friday, in which the president has been deciding whether to proceed forward with a deal that's been on the table with Iran or not. Now here we are Sunday with indications coming that the president doesn't like everything that he's seeing right now and wants some amendments made to the deal. And in terms of what those would look like, here's what he said in an interview on that.
I would rather get a deal because we can open the strait immediately upon signing. The one guarantee that I have to have is that there will be no nuclear weapons. They've agreed to that. If you're going to be in a hurry, you're not going to make a good deal. And slowly but surely, we're getting, I think, what we want. And if we don't get what we want, we're going to end it a different way.
Meanwhile, American forces here in the region active, announcing that they disabled a fifth ship. This one was a Gambia-flagged vessel, which they said was attempting to go into an Iranian port and was given 20 separate warnings, according to Central Command. After the ship did not comply to the 20 warnings, they said, quote, a U.S. aircraft disabled the vessel by firing a Hellfire missile into the ship's engine room after Lion Star, that's the name of the ship's crew, failed to comply. The ship is no longer transiting to Iran. On the other side of the coin, Iran today indicating that they have no trust for the American negotiating process. Their parliament speaker saying there is no trust in the enemy's words and promises. Our only criterion is to achieve tangible results before we fulfill our commitments in return. No indications as to exactly when we could see next possible movement on an agreement here, but the president sticking to his firm lines. Iran is not able to control the Strait of Hormuz, cannot develop a nuclear weapon, and cannot stockpile enriched uranium. Jessica?
All right, Robert Sherman live in Doha. Thanks again. Well, here with us now, Director of Research on the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps at United Against Nuclear Iran, Khosra Arabi. Thank you so much for being with us. The New York Times reports that the president wants a tougher deal before he will sign off on this. Does that make an agreement more likely to hold or more likely to collapse?
Thank you for having me, Jessica. I think context is really important here because the mainstream media has been rewriting history on the Iran war, and that is being driven by anti-Trump bias rather than objective reporting. The idea that this regime has not been weakened is ludicrous. The idea that the IRGC, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, would not have ascended to power had it not been for the war is laughable. And the idea that the Iranian people have rallied around the flag behind this regime, quite frankly, is offensive. Let's not forget this regime massacred 40,000 unarmed protesters just weeks before the start of this military conflict. But to your point here, it's been very clear that the two sides are very, very far apart. The US, rightly so, saying that it will not tolerate enrichment on Iranian soil. It will not tolerate the Iranians having access to that highly enriched uranium, which remains on Iranian territory. The Iranian regime, on the other hand, is rebuffing those points and saying that it will have an enriched nuclear program and that it will not allow a foreign power to remove the highly enriched uranium. Now, let's be clear, that highly enriched uranium enables the regime to develop a nuclear weapon. So even if there is a 60-day extension, I would say that this, if you look at that from afar, looks like a 60-day pause before the return to war, rather than a 60-day breakthrough for a nuclear agreement.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.